Hello neighbor, this is Curt with etrailer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Benton LittleShift Bike Rack and see how it works with our 2025 Mazda CX-70. Now, a hitch bike rack is an excellent way to get your bike to and from your destination, especially when we're talking about an SUV or a truck or a van even, where the rooftop is much higher, making rooftop bike racks a little bit harder to manage. The LittleShift is a single bike carrier and it's extremely versatile. It has an 80-pound weight capacity, meaning it's going to be able to handle a majority of those e-bikes that are out there and that are becoming so popular. We add to the versatility by the fact that it can be either a wheel or a frame mount. Right now, we've got it mounted to the wheel, which is honestly the most common way that people like to move it. However, what happens if your bike has fenders, which a lot of e-bikes do? All you need to do is to press this button, lift the hook up off the post, move it back here, and now we can use it as a frame mount for those bikes that have fenders. Now, if your bike has a custom paint job or a carbon fiber frame, we're definitely going to want to move it more toward the wheel, added to the fact that because you don't really have to remove the hook to put it on the wheel, if fenders and frame aren't a problem, the wheel is the most common way to do it. So the wheel is just the hook is just one point of contact. We also have a padded wheel strap on each of our wheels. It's rubber padded, so it won't damage the inside of your wheels or anything either. And this is going to be a stationary rack, meaning it's not going to have any fold away or tilt away, making it a very, very solid platform as you're riding down the road. You won't have a lot of rattling and shaking going on. As far as how it fits against the CX-70, this is a small frame bike, but it has rather large handlebars at 14.5 inches and some bigger pedals at 4.25 inches. And even on a rougher terrain, a rougher road you're going down, we're really not in any danger of the bike making contact with the back of the vehicle. And that's always a really good sign, because that's generally the first thing I want to look at when I'm looking at a bike rack for my vehicle. However, with any platform bike rack, we're going to get some limited visibility out of the back. Now, this rack doesn't hold the bike very high up in the air in relation to the hitch, so mostly what you're going to see out of your rear window is the top of the seat and the handlebars. However, we are going to have some partial blockage of our taillights when it comes to other drivers, and we're going to have some partial blockage of our license plate and our rear view camera. And because of that, it's a really good idea to know just what kind of footprint this is leaving behind the vehicle. So if we're going to measure from the bumper to this point here, this bike rack is going to stand out at about 19.25 inches. So just keep in mind, you got a little bit more than 1.5 feet back here extra that you're going to have to account for whenever you're backing into a tighter space or trying to parallel park. And because we also have an 80-pound capacity, it's a really good idea to understand just how high you're going to have to lift your bike to get it up and down from the rack. So if we measure from the wheel cup back here, you're going to want to be pretty comfortable getting your bike up about 18.5, 19 inches to get it up and down off the rack. We're also going to take a look at the ground clearance. Now, we do have a bit of a rise coming out of the shank, so it does hold it above our hitch opening. And we're going to have a ground clearance here of about 14.5 inches. And that should be plenty, considering how close this sits to your bumper. That should be plenty of clearance for a lot of those steeper inclines and driveways you might come across, but it is a good idea to be conscious that it's there. Loading and unloading the bike from the LittleShift is a really simple process. We're going to start with the wheel straps here. We're going to feed them through and out the other side and clear our wheel. We're going to do the same on the front. Now, when unloading the bike, you always want to disengage your arm and hook last. This is what's keeping it upright while we undo the wheel straps. Whenever we're loading up the bike, we want to engage this first so it can stay upright while we engage the wheel straps. But now that we've got it here, we're going to depress our button, lift this all the way up. We don't have to remove the hook, clear the wheel, and now we can access getting our bike down, and we are ready to hit the trail. So we talked about some of the versatility when it comes to your bike, having the 80-pound weight capacity and the fact that it can be wheel or frame mounted allows you to use just about any bike you need to with the LittleShift. But even without a bike on it, we're also going to have a little bit of versatility with this when it comes to the vehicle. If you have a roof rack, and if you're using rooftop accessories, a cargo box or something, this can provide a nice little step up if you need to, for some reason, get toward the back of your cargo box or a roof basket or anything here, or to assist you with tying something down that's up there. So it comes in really handy as a step. It's got a really nice grip tape across the top of it, and there are 2 different holes that are cut into it that you can run a cable lock through. And there are plenty of cable locks available right here at etrailer.com for your bike and your bike rack. And when it's all said and done, after you're kind of done with everything, you had an exhausting day, why not just use it to take a seat? So if after watching this video, you decide that the LittleShift is the bike rack for you and your Mazda CX-70, and you get it and you're able to use it a few times, please share what you think about it in the comments below. We would love to share your story with our other neighbors so they can make the best decision for themselves. Once again, this is Curt with eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.